Sisaundra Show. Our next incredibly talented guest today is an inspiring creator who is breaking barriers and redefining representation in the world of comic books. In celebration of Black History Month, he has released his very first comic book titled Stink Bomb Man and the Brain Kids. Y'all, Mr. Jaylen Christie, how are you?
I'm good, Sisaundra. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am delighted to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Indeed, indeed. So listen, tell us why comic books? Why?
Yeah, so when I was a child, Sisaundra, which wasn't that long ago.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. I did not have a lot of superheroes that looked like me. So there weren't a lot of black and brown superheroes. There was a severe lack of representation.
Yes.
With the exception of the Power Rangers and the X-Men, all right? But you only really had like Zach, the Black Ranger, Power Rangers, who left in season 2, all right? Exactly.
Break it down.
So, and then you only had Storm in the X-Men crew, and she wasn't even featured in every episode.
Correct.
So when I was a child, I decided to take it upon myself to create my own superheroes.
I love it.
I wrote short stories and illustrated comic books, and then let my family members and friends read them. And then as I got older, those same family members and friends challenged me to put something together and release it. So that's
wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what inspired you to bring your childhood characters to life? I know you have your family and your friends and they're saying, hey, make this happen.
Yeah.
But what about these characters to you was worth all of this to sit here today and tell us about it?
So I think given the events of 2020 and the murder of George Floyd and, you know, DE&I, diversity, equity, inclusion, gaining in popularity, one of my fraternity brothers, so I'm a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha
I was going to
Fraternity
say,
Incorporated.
please shout out yours.
All day, all
Come
day,
on.
all day, all day. But one of my fraternity brothers came up to me and said, Jaylen, you know, you've been working on this comic book for years. You have these characters in your head. Now would be the right time to do so. I think that, you know, young children, teenagers, they need to see some serious representation in terms of this media. So that's why I did it.
Wow, that's amazing. So how important is representation in storytelling? We know it's important, but please just go a little deeper and tell us, why is it so important for us to tell our stories?
Well, I can say, speaking on behalf of myself, when I was a child, since I didn't have that, I kind of felt like I wasn't really able to be a superhero. I could be a superhero's assistant. I could be the sidekick.
Wow.
But I never thought that myself, could be a superhero.
That's deep.
So since releasing my comic book in Black History Month, which wasn't that long ago, I have received an overwhelming amount of support. So I've been, you know, blessed to speak at different schools and interact with different children. Some of those students, some of those kids have come up to me saying that they want to be my superheroes for Halloween.
Oh, wow.
One of my superheroes, her name is Brittany McBrilliant. She has no superpowers, but she fights crime using science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
I love it, STEM.
Exactly.
I love it.
I had a young girl come up to me last month and said that she identified with Brittany because she herself wanted to be a scientist when she grows up, and that got inspired. She got inspired by that. So that was, hearing that, I cried copious tears.
Oh, I bet you did. I bet you did.
Yeah.
Now, you're an educator yourself, right?
More or less, yeah.
More or less. Okay, we'll come back to that. So how do you hope your comic book will inspire and motivate young readers?
I think for Black children, categorically speaking, I think that my desire is when they read my comic book, when they flip through those pages, they can realize, or that they see for themselves rather, that they don't have to have laser beams that shoot from their fingertips.
Wow.
All you have to do is have aptitude, know-how, and determination to conquer your goals and achieve your dreams.
And that makes you a superhero. I love it. So everyone can be a superhero.
Precisely.
I
That's
love
exactly
that.
right.
So can you explain the unique dynamics and abilities of the superhero team in your comic book?
I'd be happy to.
Thank
All right.
you.
So here we go.
Yes.
All right, here we go, Sisaundra. Here we go.
Do we need a drum roll? I can
Let's
get
do
you a
it.
drum roll.
Let's do it.
Can I
Let's
get
do
a drum roll? Yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you've got Brittany McBrilliant and her brother Jesse McBrilliant. All right, they have no superpowers whatsoever. All right, they're just vastly intelligent. All right. Now, the two of them have teamed up with their grandfather, Dr. Beaumont McBrilliant, who has invented this wrist-worn device called a brainerator, which gives Brittany and Jesse the ability to shift into the brain kids, all right? Now, the brain kids are investigating the mysterious disappearance of their father, Dr. Jeffrey McBrilliant, all right? And all signs point to Nicodemus Graves.
Nicodemus.
Nicodemus.
I love
all
it.
right?
Come on.
He is the billionaire industrialist CEO of Grave Corp Technologies, all right? Which to the general public, they believe that it's doing a lot of positive things in the community, but behind the scenes, they might be up to some nefarious schemes and things of that nature. All right? There we go.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Yes, yes, yes.
Tell the story. Go
Telling
ahead.
the story. All right. So meanwhile, you have Stink Bomb Man, who's from the planet Stingopolis. He is an intergalactic peacekeeper. All right, who crash landed on Earth, saw what the Brain Kids are up to, and decided to join them on their crusade. All right. Yeah, so Stink Bomb Man, he has superpowers, but instead of using his fists and, and hurting people, so to speak, he uses stink bombs to diffuse the situation.
Oh, I love this. Is that not brilliant? Like, everything behind every character is so smart.
I tried.
If that doesn't make everyone want to go pick this up and read it, let me see this.
Sure.
Even the quality of it, y'all. Look at this. It's not your normal comic book.
Oh, thank you.
The paper that you use, it feels amazing.
Thank you
I
so
was
much.
just telling him all of this. And like the illustrations are brilliant.
Aw,
I
thank
mean,
you.
absolutely brilliant.
You're very
So
kind.
what message does it send to readers? What's the overall message?
I think the overall message, well, the themes of this particular issue are teamwork, family, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and believing in yourself. But I think on another level, I hope that when young readers and children learn my story and learn that I was able to get this accomplished, I hope that it in turn inspires them to conquer their own dreams.
When they learn your story,
Yeah,
what is
absolutely.
your story?
Ah.
Your story of perseverance, overcoming, or something we have not discussed yet?
I think for me, it would be perseverance, definitely. So I work in public relations, so my background is communications. But even though I'm good at PR, it's not what I wanted to do ultimately. So
Really? Why is it what we're great at?
You
We just
know,
like want to do something else?
Well, because I think my mindset, Sisaundra, was you go to school, you get the bachelor's degree in PR, you get the master's degree, you do all of that so you
Yes.
can pay the bills and pay the mortgage and get the car and all that stuff.
Yes.
All right. So to me, my mindset was, let me get that so I can get this money coming in really quick. But at the end of the day, I always wanted to be an illustrator and a comic book writer. So now I'm able to, bring that dream to fruition.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But you laid the groundwork. That's what's important.
God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
Come on. So what challenges, Jaylen, have you faced in starting your own publishing company and self-publishing your work? And how does it feel to have full creative control?
Sisaundra, I don't know if we have enough time to discuss the plethora of challenges that I overcame.
Oh, wow.
In getting this done.
Wow.
What comes to mind immediately? Let's see. Oh my God. Okay. I had to find a colorist. I had to find a letterer. All right. So a colorist and a letterer, like Marvel and DC, which are, the comic book gargantuan giants
Yes.
that they are. All right. They have a whole team that do these comic books.
Yes.
All right. So when I put together this one, I did not know that you actually have a person that does the word bubbles for you and writes the graphics for you.
Wow.
So I took to Twitter to find my letterer. I also took to Twitter
They're
to
called a
find
letterer? I've
letterer.
never heard of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
How cool.
The more
Okay.
you know, the more you know.
Yes.
And then I took to Twitter as well to find my colorist. So
Colorist, letterer.
Yeah, so the colorist adds the color to the pages. So I hand drew it
Wow.
with a pencil, scanned it, and then sent it off. And then it got
they
colored.
colored it. Look at that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
We're learning so much today. The edutainment is just unbelievable.
Absolutely.
So what advice do you have for aspiring comic book creators who want to make their mark in the industry?
So Donald Glover, who is also known as Childish Gambino,
Yes.
he said that the game has changed. And because someone had asked him recently, well, how do I go into the movie making business? And he was saying that, you can make a movie now using your iPhone. So it's the same with the comic book. Even though I appreciate the compliments that you gave me regarding the comic book, even though it was a challenge, I was really able, with the good Lord's help, to get it done. You know, the game has changed. In 2023, the resources are endless. So
Wow.
tapping into those resources and asking the right questions, I think you can go a long way.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, y'all heard that from the one and only Mr. Jaylen Christie. It's been a pleasure sitting here chatting with you. This book is, again, absolutely amazing. I love the feel of it because I was back in the day with the old comic books that you kind of hold on to, and the feeling of them, they're classics. But this is fantastic, and the stories, I'm sure, are amazing. Thank you again. We're going to say goodbye for now, y'all, but we had a fantastic time hanging out with you on the Sisaundra Show. Y'all take care of yourselves. For the culture, Chris!
Comic books ready. And scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen. Because we got so much more exclusive content for you right here on the Sisaundra Show. Only on Afro TV, Comcast Xfinity Channel 16, 23, and Roku.
Yes! Hello, everyone. If you are at work, at home, y'all drop everything and tune in because it's time for the Sisaundra Show!
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just kidding. Don't y'all get fired. Don't drop everything at work. Listen, speaking of fired, y'all